in 2019, and 2 years later, today, I'm about to introduce 4 more panda cubs to all of you. I'm fully equipped, and so is with our cameraman, because we need to go through a disinfection chamber before going inside the park for the giant pandas, because later on we're about to have a very close contact with the baby giant pandas. We would like to protect their safety, especially against this background of the COVID-19 pandemic. So I guess that you can no longer wait, and together, please follow me and let's go inside and check on our giant panda cubs. Today is a very good day. It's full of sunshine, and our keepers here, they have prepared the special environment for the celebration of 100 days after birth for the 4 baby pandas. And today we have prepared a special birthday cake composed of the bamboo, the carrots, apples, etc. Happy birthday to our baby pandas. In order to give you more knowledge about the giant panda, we have invited our specialists. Please say hi to everyone. Hi everyone, my name is Li Rong. I'm the keeper in the Qinling Center. I'm also a keeper from the Qinling Center. My name is Yang Changxue. So our viewers, they are very curious about your daily work. The daily routine is to keep a close eye on the safety of our baby pandas. So this is a very brief introduction, but we can guess how difficult and challenging that work is. Please say something about our baby panda. That one is Rongzai. This one is Dazai. And this lying one is the baby of Zhu. So you can very easily tell the difference from one another, but for me, I cannot do that. Could you please reveal the secret to us? You can tell from their eyelid and also the color of their fur. I know that there is a pair of twins here. This one has double eyelids. Yes, exactly. What about the other one with single eyelid? I really envy you. Because you have such a wonderful job, you could stay all day long with our giant pandas. So, as you have mentioned, this one, the baby panda, has only single layer of eyelid. I'm also very curious about their mother. The mother of these two, Zhu, is very experienced mother. And for Qingqing, those 2 babies are the first babies of hers, but she's also very kind with the cubs. This one is also a very kind mother. At the age of 2 months, the baby is abandoned by the mother during a certain period of time, but later everything's improved and the mother comes back to the baby. And for the weight of the babies It's around 160 to 170 grams. So at birth, they are very light. They are so little, even smaller than our palm. But later on, during their adulthood, they will grow to such a big size. So during the delivery process, you must be very nervous because they are so little at birth. It's also a process full of danger and risks. So after the mother shows some signs of giving birth to the baby, we're about to bring the mother to a special chamber for the preparation work. And then we help the mother panda to deliver the babies. And then we will keep the panda cubs in a special environment with the temperature, humidity controlled. After the delivery, we will keep the babies by the mother panda's side for a period of time, and later they could separate from each other. So how long do we have to keep those baby pandas in the incubation chamber? It depends. We have to check the external environment temperature and also their status of health after birth. So directly after the birth, the baby pandas rely mostly on the milk from the mother. For the babies of Zhuzhu, Zhuzhu has a lot of milk to feed the babies. But for the other mother panda, because it's the first time for her to deliver the baby cubs, so the lactation is quite limited. At the age of 3 months, we have to add up some added milk because by then the lactation from both mothers are quite limited. And after the birth, we have noticed that the baby pandas are in pink color. They are very cute and they have their eyes closed. So for how much time do we have to wait to see their eyes open? 1 week after the birth, we could start to notice some black color fur around their arms and also around the circle of their eyes. And around 1 month after birth, this black color would be more evident, and it's at the age of 30 to 45 days that the panda cubs will open their eyes finally. And could you please share with us some interesting stories about those baby pandas? Every year, when we stay with a new series of baby pandas, we would have a lot of fun. And this year too. This time, as I mentioned before, there's a mother panda that has delivered the babies for the first time. So she's not that experienced. For us, the keepers, we have to stay by the side of the mother panda to help her out. After 1 month, when we hand over the baby panda to the mother directly understood that it's time for milking. Yeah, I can imagine that without your help, the mother cannot fully guarantee the milking of the cubs. And what about you? I have noticed that sometimes the older ones would fight against the younger ones. Thank you so much. And we have noticed that currently we have not yet named the 4 baby cubs. For our viewers, if you are interested, please do not hesitate to participate. You could propose a name for the panda cubs. If you are selected, then you will have a chance to come to this place and also enjoy some time with our baby pandas. And this afternoon, together with me, we're about to discover more secrets about the panda, not only the 4 panda cubs. After bidding farewell to our 4 panda cubs, first of all, I could get rid of this protection equipment, the protection gums, and also some other protection measures. Like that, I could go to another place. Thank you very much. And now our journey goes on. I'm about to invite another representative from our park. Please say hi to everyone. My name is Shen Jiena. I'm from the Qinling Panda Breeding and Research Center, and I'm in charge of the test of the hormone of reproduction. So what is that? Could you please tell us something more about your work? The giant panda is a very special animal. Usually they will have a very short period of estrogen or rut, and usually in a spring season. So if you miss that golden period of estrogen of the giant pandas, then you have to wait for another year. That means that every year, during that 2 weeks or even 1 week of the estrogen of the giant panda, you have to grasp that window period and ensure that the mating could go on with a lot of success. And now you have helped 21 giant pandas to give birth to babies. And this one is called Yaya. She's 11 years old, and she has not yet delivered any babies. And over there, we have noticed another giant panda, the sister of Yaya, and her name is An. So they don't want to stay together. They don't want any company. During their adulthood, before turning 3 years old, the giant pandas would like to live alone. So if we stay here, are we disturbing her life? Not exactly. And she's enjoying the bamboos. So we're about to leave Yaya alone so that she could enjoy the delicious food. What about her personality or character? She's quite calm, and she has a different character than her mother. So the staple food for them is the bamboo shoot and also apples and sometimes some bread. And we say that Zhu is the hero mother. Why that? Because Zhu has already delivered 7 panda cubs. So that's why we call her the hero mother, because she has delivered the biggest number of the baby pandas. How many hours do you work in a day? Since when do you start your work of the keeper in the day? Could you please say something about your routine? We have to check on the feces of the giant panda and also the conditions of the environment. We have to make sure that the whole environment, the houses of the giant pandas are in good condition. We also have to give food to the giant panda. So first we will make the giant panda and get them out of their houses so that they can enjoy some sunshine and food outdoor, and we would go into the house to do some cleaning. Do you have busy seasons during the whole year? For the first half of the year, we are very busy about the mating of the giant pandas and also the estrus and also the reproduction activities of the giant panda. For those giant pandas that have a very late period of estrus, usually for the other earlier ones, they would start to deliver the baby cubs. So it means that we have multiple important tasks at the same time. Now, according to your introduction, I can understand that you have a very important responsibility on your shoulder. And does your family members, they understand your work? Because you have to stay 365 days with the giant pandas. Yes, they can fully understand my work and the importance of my role. So that's why I'm so grateful to my family members. For example, my husband, he used to be a keeper of the giant panda. So he can fully understand my job, and he is also supportive by my side. Especially when I cannot go back home, and he will help me.
其实这个时候啊，我们工作人员也在跟我打招呼，就是说呢，此时此刻我们平台上呢，不少的观众朋友都在给我们留言，他们呢既呢是感谢说，原来
So today you regard the giant pandas as your own children, especially the baby pandas. We do consider them as our own babies. If they are in good status, then we are really happy. And now my colleague told me that we have received a lot of messages on our online platform, and many people are interested about the Qinling giant panda because in the past they never know that there are also giant pandas in Qinling area. And I have a question from our viewers, one asking whether the giant panda would snore when they are asleep. Yes, actually, especially for some mother panda, after picking up the babies of the mother, then the baby mother would not be worried by the babies, so they could have a very good sleep and they can snore sometimes. The sound is really big.
你看啊，他们说大熊猫会发脾气吗？哎呀，
发脾气有时候会吧，就是，哎呀，那个小猫它有时候玩着就是玩疯了，可能就互相打闹。
这个还有一位朋友，哎呀，觉得大家真的是太喜欢大熊猫了，所以有各种各样的问题哈，甚至有人说大熊猫那么胖，需要减肥吗？
哎呀，其实如果在就是繁殖方面，就是如果体重特别重、特别胖的猫，我们会适当调整一下它的那个食谱，
对，
就是让它控制一下体重，就是因为太胖也不好嘛，就是身体负担过重，而且影响那个就是那个繁殖。
我们现在是来到了 观众朋友，你们知道七仔
They're also very sensible to sounds.
音，那么这个名字的由来，它
So
也
by
是因为
hearing
2年
and
前
by
被救助的时
smelling,
候
they could tell the
在这个
difference from one
12
person
年
to
前被
another.
救助的
So
时
that's
候
why
呢
they can recognize their own keeper.
它长得
And people are also asking whether the giant pandas would take showers.
给它起了名字
Yes.
七仔也是
Just
世界
now we
上
have
唯
passed
一
by
一只我们
a
圈
small
养的
pond.
棕色大熊猫，让我们
We
赶紧
have
来
two
看一看
ponds here,
接着谢谢
one
你
for
好，快来看
bathing
看
and one for drinking
哎
water.
呀
They could go inside the pond for some swimming whenever they want.
来看现在
And some other people are asking whether the giant panda have bad tempers sometimes.
悠然自得的样子太可爱了。这个时候呢
For
我也
the
要给大家
panda cubs, sometimes they would fight with each other, but we cannot say that they have bad
我要给大家
temper.
介绍我身边的工作
People
人员
are so fond of the giant pandas, they are asking a lot of different curious questions. For example, one here, do we have to ask the giant pandas to lose some
带
weight?
来的不仅仅七仔为什么是棕色的？为什么会有棕色大熊猫？
对，这个七仔非常非常的特别，它的毛色是棕白色的。七仔这个毛色，专家有很多推测，比如说是不是一方水土养育一方熊，我们秦岭的这个土壤啊，一些微量元素成分，还有的是不是隐性基因重合引起的基因变异，或者是一种返祖现象，目前还没有一个确切的定论。我们也希望科学家未来有更进一步的研究。
好，那今天呢，徐老师应该也回答了我们观众朋友的问题了。就是目前呢，我们还在研究当中。那么七仔的性格怎么样？他平时喜欢吃些什么呀？
七仔，我陪伴他大概有2年多的时间。
And now we are
儒雅中又带有一点倔强的小熊猫。
communicating about Qizai, the only captive brown giant panda in the world. Usually Qizai is very calm, especially when he's with the others. But in some special scenarios, he is very persistent about his choices.
所以这个情况就要进行训练。七仔特别特别的仗义，他不会为了那个奖励小胡萝卜、小
And from time to time, we are doing the trainings to the giant pandas. And the Qizai would first complete the whole set of exercises before asking for some prizes like the small carrots and apples. What about the activities routines? We have a smaller size of the inner chamber and also a rather big space for the outdoor activities, and this also for them to make the choice. For the adult giant panda, they will spend a lot of hours eating and also sleeping during the day. And what about the food guarantee for them? So every day we will keep a close eye on the remainings of the food. If there's not enough bamboos, we would add up some more fresh bamboos inside. So during the food intake moments, you would have the chance to get a close contact with our giant pandas. And what about the other opportunities? We would also include the hours of exercises. So those close contact moments are the happiest moments of our keepers. And Qizai has a really excellent performance in the trainings. And I'm deeply moved by the good performance of Qizai. I believe that this is a communication that can transcend the boundaries among different species. Even though we don't share the same language, but still I believe that we can communicate and understand each other. So, Madam, I can see the tears in your eyes. You must have a lot of interesting stories to share with us about Qizai. In his childhood, Qizai was very naughty. And one day, he climbed up to the tree and he wouldn't want to come down. So we believe that he must be very hungry, staying that high. So we keepers, we climb up the tree too in order to deliver the food to Qizai. So that is a very interesting story. And later, after feeding Qizai, we have to get the giant panda down in a very safety manner. And we are considering the giant panda as our own children. And what about the support from your family? My parents and also my husband, they are all very proud of me. And we believe that for every creature, they can understand each other and they have the ability to understand the kindness from another species. So I believe that Qizai can also feel the love from your side. So Qizai is a really happy baby. He has a life full of happiness. And in our park, we have 32 giant pandas. After paying the visit to Qizai, we have to continue with our journey.
那接下来我要为大家再来请一位工作人员，请跟大家打一个招呼。
大家好，我是秦岭大熊猫研究中心的张丹辉。
好，张老师，那刚刚我的愿望是想见佳佳、圆圆和秦珀儿，您能带我们去吗？
好，咱们现在就去。
好嘞，我们就边走边说。我请张老师啊，跟我们观众朋友们介绍一下，就是我们的秦岭大熊猫。 这个平时吃什么？其实我们通过视频看到的有这个竹子，有南瓜。就我特别好奇哈，生南瓜吃那么香，还有这个苹果，还有胡萝卜。那除了这些之外，他们还吃些什么呀？
在那个春季吃一些竹笋，然后秋冬季节主要就是竹笋。平时我们还会给它搭配一些窝窝头。 就是大量的做玉米面，然后米粉，还有一些杂粮性的一些豆粉这些。
哦，就是要
一个营养。
这个饮食要衡是吧？
Food to the giant panda in order to have a very good mixture of the nutrients. What about the lifespan of the giant pandas? Currently, in our record, the oldest giant panda, how old is it? If the giant panda can have better living conditions, usually their lifespan is 30 to 35 years old, and the longest lifespan that we have registered is 38 years old. And those are the captive giant pandas. But for those wild pandas, they can have an average lifespan of 20 to 25 years old because they are facing external threats. And here in our park, the oldest giant panda reached 30 years old. What about the status quo of this one, the oldest one? He's doing quite well. We are also guaranteeing sufficient food and very good living conditions for this one. Now we are moving down the stairs, and by our side, we have noticed this small forest of bamboo trees. So those are cultivated bamboos in our park. This is our food reserve actually, because in extremely strange weathers like with heavy snow or heavy rains, sometimes we cannot transport the bamboos to the park in a timely manner. If we have the food reserve here with the cultivated bamboos inside the park, then we have no worries. And this is a truck to deliver the dinner for our giant pandas. The bamboo leaves and the bamboo branches. So I would like to know, does the taste vary from one kind of bamboo to another? I believe that they have similar taste. But sometimes there's a variation of the nutrition. So before giving the bamboo leaves to the giant panda, you would do some selection, right? Yes. And after the selection, we would do some cleaning about the leaves. And finally, we will give the food fully prepared to our giant panda. So thank you, sir. You could continue your transportation. And Professor, just now you have talked about this food reserve, the bamboo reserve in our park. And you have also prepared different varieties of the bamboos. For example, you have some sweet bamboos. How many different varieties do you have in this park? Around 7 to 8 different varieties. And also there's a variety called the sword bamboo, one of the favorites of our giant pandas. So today they are living in a relatively safe environment and they are enjoying a very happy life. But for the wild giant pandas, especially for the adults, they are threatened by the degradation of environment. For example, the construction works of humankind and also the pollution of the environment. And they are also facing the predators. For the panda cubs, they are relatively safe because they are always protected by their mothers. So now in your park, you have 32 giant pandas in total. What are the measures in place to protect their safety? We would arrange some exercises, physical exercises for them. And from time to time, on a regular basis, we will give them vaccines and also to detect if there are insects with them or some other problems. And now we have come to the house of Jia Jia, Yuan Yuan, Qu Kuo. So first of all, I would like to have a try to have a guess whether I could distinguish one from another, because back to 2019, I've held all of them in my arms. And now they've grown up. So I'm not sure about the guess. This one is Qingku, right? No. In order to tell the difference from the giant pandas one from another, you could see the direction of their ears, and also the length of their ears, and also the shape of their face. And now we have invited the keeper of this house. So we say thank you first of all to Professor Zhang. And we have a new friend here. Hi everyone, I'm from the Qinling Center. My name is Wang Bing. I'm so excited at this moment because I have held Qingku in my arms back in 2019. Could you please say something more about the little ones? This one is Qingku. And she's fighting with his partner. And they are very naughty. That one on the ground is Qingku. They've grown up so much because I still remember that in 2019 2019, they were very little in my arms. This is Jia Jia. And what about Yuan Yuan? Yuan Yuan is back there. In 2019, we have also organized such an activity of name proposing.
也代表着秦岭大熊猫。家家园园的意思就是家园，熊猫家园。它们三个
Qingkur is actually the name selected because this one best represents the star of Qinling. And Jia Jia and Yuan Yuan in Chinese, it means the motherland or homeland. Jia Jia and Yuan Yuan, they are very active. And usually they would play with each other and fight with each other. And Qingkur is quite calm and elegant. And Zhengzai.
对，这个您作为他们的饲养员，能不能给我们分享一些这4个
would first make a tour inside the park and then go up on the trees to have some sleep.
白天下午，收不回去，他们叫上树不下来。
So for the milking access,
把他们哄下来，或者拿奶，还是敲一下，把他们哄下来以后再去喂奶。所以说。
For the mother pandas, when it's time to milk their cubs, we find that they are still on the branches of the trees. But then we have to use different kind of tricks to ask them down, otherwise their cubs will starve. At the same time, we notice that a lot of messages are popping up on our internet platform, so we'd like to pick up some questions. I have noticed that in Sichuan province, usually they will use the Sichuan dialect to communicate with the pandas, and here you also use the Shaanxi dialect to communicate with the giant pandas. Yes. Qingkur, please come here.
哎，他好像听到。
正在儿。
圆圆。
正在 heard you.
佳佳，
这是玩的、吃的都顾不上了，但是呢，应该说还真的是我们用陕西话他们能听得懂。我们再来看还有一些问题啊，比如说这个。
So all those 4 giant pandas, they can understand the local dialect, and some other questions for you too. Do they take showers?
熊猫它不冬眠，所以那个。
And will they sleep through the winter season? Usually they will not sleep through the whole winter season. They also love the cold season.
这个大熊猫饲养员是要求有那个动物相关专业的，只要是。 And their favorite temperature is between 15 to 20 degrees Celsius. And some people are asking the requirements to become a keeper of the giant pandas. How can we become the keeper of the giant pandas? First of all, you have to be a student from the major of animal-related discipline. And they also would like to know how many fingers do they have. They have 5 fingers. And they have very flexible fingers. And what about their toes? 6. So how long is the pregnancy period?
This year, there's one giant panda that has waited for 180 days. So that is a very long pregnancy period. Usually for a giant panda, they would bear the babies for only 3 to 4 months. Thank you so much for giving us this precious knowledge. And again, this year we are also about to organize this naming activity, and you can try to propose the names for the new panda cubs. If you are selected, your proposals selected, then you would win a chance to come to this place, and also we will give you a small souvenir, a small gift. And some viewers, they say they would like to come to Shaanxi and pay a visit to the Qinling Panda Breeding and Research Center. So they would like to know when they could have an access to this area. Please be patient, because I'm about to invite Mr. Lei Yinghu, the DG of Qinling Panda Breeding and Research Center. Director Lei, good afternoon. We have received so many questions from our viewers. Please say hi to our viewers. Good afternoon, everyone. It's been 8 million years that giant pandas existed on this earth. They are very well adapted to this environment. When the other species are already distinct, the giant pandas are still alive because they are highly adapted to the environment, for example, to the changes of the environment, and they are also very productive in delivering babies. If we can ensure that there is a good environment for the giant pandas, then the giant pandas would continue to survive. And for our province, we have the natural protection programs and the other projects to guarantee the living environment for the giant pandas. Today, for the habitat of our giant pandas, we have designated a surface of 430,000 square meters as the core area inside the National Reserve Parks. So over the past years, the total number of giant panda in our region has increased from 109 in the 1980s to 345 of today, and we have also expanded the surface of the habitats for the giant pandas. So from all those facts, we can notice that the good life of the giant pandas today are due to the good protection of the Qinling area. Moving forward, we have to continue with our efforts in building the national parks and in restoring the natural habitats of the giant pandas, and also to create the ecological corridors for the giant pandas. We also have to tackle the biggest challenges and difficulties to increase the number of the animals in their group, and also prepare the giant pandas for the wild environment. So by doing that, we could expect to see more giant pandas living in the wild environment. We also have 2 bases and 1 park. During the 14th five-year plan, this is our guideline. For the 1 park, it means the scientific park for the Qinling giant pandas. We're about to have a surface of more than 1,000 mu of land used as a place to enable those visitors to come and see the giant pandas, and also 2 bases of reproduction of the giant pandas. In those 2 bases, we're about to increase the level of the reproduction and also the delivery of the giant pandas. We also have some other programs going on for the sick pandas. We would give them good treatment, targeted solutions, and for those healthy and fully prepared giant pandas, gradually we would release them back to the nature. So I believe that Mr. Lei, Director General of this center, has answered a lot of questions. And just now, because I've mentioned that this year we're about to invite our viewers to propose names. For example, we have the Kang Kang, Yi Yi, Bi Bi, and Sheng Sheng. This means that we would finally win the battle against the COVID-19. And also Ping Ping, An An, Jian Jian, and Kang Kang. So this is a very good wish for the safety and good health of giant panda and also humankind. So those are very interesting proposals of names. And this year we're also about to organize the national games, the 14th national games in Shaanxi. So that's why people are proposing the Zhu Zhu, Ling Ling, Qing Qing for the giant pandas. And some other proposals, like the Shanhe, Wuyang, Guotai, and Ming'an. So people are proposing wonderful names for the giant panda cubs, because the past year we are haunted by the COVID-19 pandemic. That's why we really hope that this year, the new year 2021, everything would be in a very safe status. And what about you, Mr. Lei? I would like to thank all the viewers for proposing those wonderful names to our cubs of giant pandas. Those giant panda cubs, they are very lovely and very cute. We hope that they would bring more joy and happiness to all of you. And everyone would forget those sad memories about the COVID-19 pandemic as soon as possible. So now it's about the end of our live streaming program today about the giant panda. Again, we have to do our part and contribute to the protection of the environment. Like that, our giant pandas would lead a very happy life with clear water and air and also sufficient food. So everyone, we would be a pioneer in protecting the environment and the habitat of the giant panda. That's all for our program. Thank you.